everybody. We are the Fargonauts.
Hello.
Yum, yum.
I am Air Bracho. I was directed to intro this with my mouth full, and I did. So here we are. We're at another episode of Twin Peaks. This is episode, what's the number of this episode, Tyler? 11?
Yeah, 11.
Nice, I remember. Episode 11, Masked Ball, I think what it's called.
Correct.
And, yeah, we've had some real Twin Peaksy episodes these last couple episodes. And it's real peaksy one, and one getting us back into the swing of things with our folks in the town. Now we'll see what old Lynchy boys got lined up for us this episode.
In the town.
In the town. Well, it's gonna be in Twin. Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be in Twin Peaks, but
Do you want to second guess yourself one more time in that sentence?
yeah.
Well, yeah.
But anyway, without further ado, shall we get into it, boys?
I'm ready for Twin Peaks.
Yeah, I'll just
too.
add, if you like our channel, you like Twin Peaks, hit that like button and subscribe for more content from us. Thanks for, watching our content. We recently came out with my top 5 Bluey episodes out of our ranging kind of media digressions that we've been going on. So Wilson had his Godzilla, Bracho's got his Frasier, I did Bluey. We get a lot of comments on some of them. People,
Did we?
Well, at least 2. I replied
Nice.
to one of them.
I gotta tell you, my favorite episode of Bluey so far is Fruit Bat.
Oh, the la da 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 da. Yeah, that's a good. It's a good jam too, and like the dream soul that was happening during those.
Dream Soul.
Yeah, it's a good one. Bluey has dreams about. She invades other people's dreams. she's dreaming she's a fruit bat, invading other people's dreams at night. Good stuff.
When I saw that, the views were going up on that, and I was like, I wonder how many people. I wonder, A, how much we swear in that video, and B, how many people know we might potentially swear in that video.
Huh.
Since it's about Bluey, you know what I mean? You
Well,
might
yeah.
be like, oh.
I was doing most of the talking, and I don't think I swore too much.
No.
I don't think I swore at all.
We've
I
got
don't
other
think we talk
videos
about
that,
penises too much.
that's up to you, mainly.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
We've got other videos where we talk about specifically not just like adult entertainment. So it's all right. It's just know that there's an inherent color to it on this channel.
Yeah. And I try to
I just
keep
never
clear
thought
some
about
of
it. Yeah. So I was like, oh yeah, we sometimes say swears on here. I hope we didn't go too hard in that episode.
No, I kind of just dissected each episode, and you guys kind of chimed in here and there. But I'd like to thank everybody for commenting that did on that and left their top 5, and a lot of them overlapped. There are a few on there. Like, Wilson, you can attest to this. There's like a lot of episodes that are good, and I had to narrow it down to 5 because I put that limit on myself, because if I could choose like the end all episodes, like the ones that are like had an everlasting impression on me, those 5 would have been them. But there are really, really, really good episodes that I could have chosen too.
Yeah, like those aren't the only good episodes.
No.
Those are just ones you're like, if I had to.
Yeah, if they're on, I'll totally sit down and watch them. But like, all of them are great, and like I said in the video, the songs are good too. Just to listen to some of the music tracks, I really enjoy
Bangers.
it. Yeah, I just, some of them are really relaxing, and just like Twin Peaks, it kind of has like a lullaby aesthetic to it. It's dream statey, and
Hell yeah.
so yeah, I just wanted to again thank everybody for watching our content. So yeah, we'll jump into Twin Peaks, and thank you guys for watching. Oh my gosh, Ben's sentimental video is the titles.
The Bentimental video.
The Bentimental. Psychopath. All right.
Breaking ground.
Well, Brocha, why don't you kick us off here?
Why?
Just what did you think about the episode? Just go into what was that all about. It was kind of, well, I'll let you discuss it first.
Well, we're starting to kind of build up things again. Starting to build other threads. Seems like, or develop more on other threads that, like, you have the whatever the hell James is doing, and
Do we care?
yeah, and then we got all the Ben stuff. Ben's life falling apart.
This part I care about. I'm talking about Garland Briggs.
Yep. Yeah, we're dealing. Yep, we're dealing with Coops, all the Coop shenanigans. Him, yeah, the Briggs stuff, and then the investigation into his stuff. So we learn about the White Lodge and the Black Lodge in this episode too. From some Hawk lore. Um, and we got the stuff with fucking the Packards too. Building that. You discover old what's his nuts is alive still. Andrew.
Andrew.
Happy Andrew. Happy Andy. Handy Andy.
So this is like extending new things, and oh yeah, then we got the Andy shenanigans with old Nicky.
Little Nicky, and they all go out for a malt.
A malted, which is a malt, but they just call it that to be annoying.
Just adding EDs on the end of things.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they used to call it that back in the day, but I'm a 50s. But yeah, I don't know. It's the like I was saying, we moved past. We ended one set of threads of stuff and are kind of kicking off and expanding on others that have been around this whole time.
Right. Like the Wyndham Earl stuff that kind of popped up at the end
Yep.
too.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Old
like
Wendy.
some of the only interesting stuff going on right now, in my opinion.
Right.
That and this discussion here with Major's wife, and she's kind of like she's aware of the classified information.
God, she almost like arranged it right there.
Yeah, she knows what to kind of navigate when they have conversations about the Major's, I guess, job.
Yeah, she clearly knows more than the average person. Like he's let her in on some stuff just because she's his wife.
Well, and she says, like, specifically, did he leave abruptly? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, okay. I know what this is.
This isn't unheard of.
Yeah, I know what this is. So that stuff was interesting. And then getting into the White Lodge stuff, yeah, I like that. Where Hawk's like, where'd you hear that, you son of a bitch?
Yeah, where the hell did you hear that from?
Yeah. So
if you meet your shadow self with imperfect courage, you'll be utterly annihilated.
Yep, definitely getting into Tibetan rules of engagement, I guess.
Dita Cov's up in here this episode too.
Yep.
Dennis Denise.
Spike the lens there in that school shot.
Wilson, what do you have to, other than those things, the Wyndham Earl and White Lodge things, anything else stand out to you?
Yeah, I mean, this definitely seems like we're in like the beginning of the pendulum swinging into like the row of episodes that people typically consider to be like the less strong episodes of season 2.
Okay.
Where it's like this episode specifically, and I think there will be some other ones in a row here where it's going to be like, oh, there's focus on Nadine and her relationship with Mike and James and whatever the hell he's doing, and like just stuff that people probably don't care about as much, or Ben Horn going on his Civil War psychosis break. And then we'll get a
Can you
little bit of
imagine?
peppering of Wyndham Earl and like maybe Hawk stuff or Dale stuff. But besides that, it's just gonna be a lot of like what and why and.
Can you
But I
imagine if the episode was only fucking James, Nadine, and fucking Ben?
Oh
right,
man.
it's like almost like a different show. Like their characters where they are is so different from where they were just a few episodes ago. If you wind things back for just those
Yeah.
people specifically,
Hmm.
James especially, like you said, like do we care about what the hell's going on with them?
He's just like,
Done.
well, he's making those weird, I don't know, he's stating all these like platitudes, or he's saying things to people that he just met, and he's like kind of romanticizing being out in the open road and being like, I don't care where I go. I'm just like along for the ride wherever life takes me. I don't give a shit.
God, I guess that is what like directly in some way metamorphosizes into the Michael Cera shit. Where it's like, may the open road come up to meet you, and
Yeah.
he's like saying a lot of this same kind of stuff.
And it's kind of like he's doing the either the Incredible Hulk TV show kind of thing, or like the Kung Fu kind of thing, where he's like he just goes randomly to places and he's like, oh, I'm gonna interact with this person for a little bit. And
You mean Reacher? The show Reacher? Every season he just goes
Yeah.
somewhere new.
yeah, and he's just like, I'm gonna help out this lady for a little bit.
This almost feels like this would be the setup to a spin, like a James spin-off, if he actually was like a incredibly popular character, maybe played by like Johnny Depp or something like that. And this is like, oh, the James spin-off show where for a little bit in Twin Peaks proper, he's gonna go off and have his own little solo adventure, so that when he gets his own show, we're used to him doing his own solo thing or whatever.
Yeah.
But
The
it's
James Solo Jam, dude.
who cares about this like rich lady that is meeting this bar and like all this intrigue shit with her husband and all this, like it doesn't amount to anything. It doesn't, there's no further character development for the character of James where he's like, okay, he learned a lot from this and he's going to come back to the show in the town of Twin Peaks a changed man and be able to help substantially in what's happening. It's like, no, he just continues being dumb old James. I kind of like these episodes though because of how like off kilter they are and how weird they are.
Yeah. I mean,
To me, it adds a specific flavor to the entirety of the soup that is Twin Peaks.
yeah. That might be true. Or there's truth in that.
Like you can't, I don't know, if you're eating a beef stew, you can't always have every single bite be the potatoes because then you're all out of potatoes and you just have the other stuff. Like you know, like everything that's a mixed bag.
Is
there are
that
some
something
things
that came
you
out
like.
of James' mouth? if I'm eating beef
Sometimes you can't
stew,
always eat potatoes. I'm saying it bad, but like, you know what I mean? Like anything that's a mixed bag, you're always going to have the things that you like less and the things you like more. And you kind of have to like learn to not just focus on only the things you like. Otherwise, you're only eating one piece out of the 6 pieces of fruit salad, and everybody's upset because there's only cantaloupe and honeydew and things like that left. And
yeah, you gotta take the good with the bad, and sometimes you gotta have more of the bad to really appreciate all the little good that comes out of it.
I don't think season 2 or the show would end on as strong of a note as it does if it didn't have like a dip in season 2 kind of like leading up to it. It would be interesting to like chart what we would say would be like overall quality of episodes on like a bar graph just to watch the rise and fall.
Ben going psycho.
I
I don't know why, but he's slowly becoming like my favorite character, or one of them, like one of the most compelling characters. Like his like I like characters that have arcs and have like they change. There's a metamorphosis behind them that
Yeah.
big events happen that change them for good or bad. I like seeing that either dip or that elevation. I just love to see what happens, and it gives them more dynamic character. than just like,
I
I'm Catherine. I'm always conniving and mean.
her dips, and rises are just like, who is she, what kind of tomfoolery is she getting up to? Is she portraying herself to be a fake Asian man, or is she like,
She's a megalomaniac. She likes to put on other people's clothes and like I'm just gonna be weird. Where Ben's true to himself. Like he's like looking at the olden days and he's like realizing what's worth living in life now, and he's coming to terms with a lot of the shit that he's gone through, and the people that he's paid to help him are getting away from him, which is a good thing for him. But he doesn't think like maybe he thought them as friends, but obviously they're just work associates and things like that. So I mean,
Catherine is kind of like the like she's like a version of Audrey that maybe didn't who went askew, or like didn't have the right kind of guidance to keep her from just giving into her worst impulses, and like, oh, I have money, I come from a position or like a family that has some power, and I'm just going to abuse this and manipulate people and get what I want. And
so what? How do you think this? Okay, there's another thing that's kind of with the Catherine stuff, and she's abusing people to get what she wants. She's putting Josie in her place by like making her a maid, and then like you have to
Basically
like
enslaving her.
you gotta basically make me coffee juice. And
I require coffee juice
Juice
every
dry
day.
toast?
but what? Okay, so whenever Sheriff Truman comes in unannounced to come see Josie, uh, she sees Josie like, or he sees Josie waiting on Catherine, and he's like, okay, what the fuck is going on here? Why are you like serving her? And it's like, oh, well, she's extorting me or she's blackmailing me, like. So it's like, okay, do I have to?
She doesn't tell him that though. I forget what the hell
I'm
she
just,
says something.
I'm thinking of a scenario where that could happen because obviously
Doesn't
they
that
love each
happen though?
other.
Like somebody, or maybe it's Pete. Yeah, I think it's Pete comes in and sees Josie in like a maid's outfit waiting on Catherine. He's like, "What the hell are you doing?" And Catherine just opens up to him and is like, "Oh, I'm just fucking blackmailing her, and she has to do this." And Pete's like, "Oh, I don't know that I feel too good about this, but well, why not?"
Oh my god, Pete, no, not you too. He didn't get his cake at the wedding, I guess. Now he's kind of a curmudgeon.
But it's hard to feel bad for Josie when Sheriff Truman is almost constantly being like, "Hey, I don't want to like press too much. I don't want to assume, but it kind of seems like maybe there's something going on with you right now." And as somebody who cares about you in your life, but also as somebody who's a representative law enforcement, maybe I could do something to help if you just
Yeah,
share a
and if
little bit
she
of
could
information with me.
divulge
She's
that,
always just Yeah, she's always just brushing him off and being like, "No, nothing's wrong. No, don't. Oh, let me distract you with kisses and
yeah, that's the thing.
lingerie."
Like,
And
why? Like, is there a reason to her not wanting to confide in him to
she
help?
she's the same as Catherine, where she like is her entire life has just been full of like deceit and conniving and um cloak and dagger like moves. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
she can't trust anybody except herself. Really, like she may have feelings for Harry, but she doesn't. She's not the kind of person to let him into her private world of like, oh, because if I tell you this, then it's going to be like, oh, well, I actually had to blackmail her and go behind her back and do this and this and this and this.
Yeah, and in every one of those scenarios that I've, in entertainment out there, there's always that revelation like, well, if you would have just told me this was happening, I could have just helped you. And it's like, well, it was for, I needed to do this for myself, or they try to like navigate around not needing the help, but you then realize, or they sometimes come to terms with, oh, if I would have just relied on my friends and the people I love, this would have been a whole lot easier. Like I Josie, like we've talked about before, she's the first person we see in this show. For opening shot, first character we see.
Mm-hmm.
There's more to her. Maybe this is her growth. that she needs to be put into this position to actually be humbled, or to understand that she needs to have help, or there needs to be some change within her. It sucks that it has to come from Catherine, because I'm not a big fan of Catherine either.
Yeah. Well, skipping ahead a little bit, like when Josie gets picture wrap, she, right before she becomes a piece of wood, she like Sheriff Truman bursts in and is like holding her and one other person at gunpoint, kind of, and just being like, "All right, put your weapons down. Let's just talk about this. Like, he's just sticking to the same old routine. Like, hey, let's talk about what's happening here." And she's just like, "No," and then becomes furniture. So even to their very last moment, they're both just on the same old routine, you know.
Well, maybe this is part of like the White Lodge, Black Lodge thing. She needs to be put through the fire. She needs to pass through fire somehow to come out the other side pure. But maybe she just got stuck in wood.
Fucking wood, dude.
She's got no. I mean, she certainly doesn't meet any of these. I would say that she could meet a lot of these challenges with more like courage or more altruistic intentions.
Yeah, yeah, she could. But yeah, I don't know if she's doing this for selfish reasons, or if she's actually protecting people, or what her motives are.
I think she's only protecting herself because
Yeah.
from what we know to be true, what she told Harry in this episode like was a version of the truth, where she did grow up in Hong Kong as basically like somebody on the street who was having to sell herself and get into crime and do all these things, and then she was basically bought by somebody and taken under their wing, but still being abused and all these things. And now she's like free of that scenario, but the way that she got free, she's not actually free. She's like being hunted,
Fucking
or
another one.
if the people that she got free from ever found out that she was still out there, she would be like brought back into those circles. So she needs to stay on the DL.
Right.
On the Detroit Lakes, dude?
Yeah, not a bad place to hide out.
No.
What about the episode title?
Masked ball.
Against ball.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
I'm trying to think about it. I mean,
Well, there was no real like ball or celebration or
A wedding party, I guess.
oh yeah, I guess
that's the
what did
only
we
thing
have
I was
going
thinking.
on there.
Yeah.
I guess you could say that there's masks being worn because like the bride is that Black Widow lady that they like she gets into relationships with multiple people in this show, and more than one of them end up dying, and she's got this like reputation and shit.
Okay.
Could
Yeah.
be like,
Interesting.
could be Dennis Denise related too.
Sure. And I guess I mean, depending, we'd have to go back and look at exactly who's in attendance during that scene, but there's certainly a lot of people there that have been doing things in this show that are like they've been sneaky. Like even Audrey was a part of that scene, and she had her own Nancy Drew arc.
Yeah, and it's funny that you say Black Widow, because that's the title of the next episode is called The Black Widow.
Yeah, because she.
Dude, Marvel crossover?
Yeah.
You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
My name's Paul.
My name's David. David Banner.
I was gonna say the threshold thing. What was that again? Dweller.
The dweller on the threshold.
Yeah, I love that. Was another one of those Dale Cooper kind of whisper thoughts that he wants to make mental notes of for himself. Yeah, he's like, dweller on the threshold. He just gets so fascinated with things like that.
Mm-hmm. You can see him letting his own mind wander for like half a millisecond.
Yeah. And Hawk kind of got a bit perturbed, maybe, when he was like Any of you heard of the White Lodge? Harry obviously just goes, local legend.
Yeah, I don't know. Local legend, something like that. I don't know.
And then Hawk's like, whoa, whoa,
Hawk
whoa.
is just like,
Hold on, dude.
"What you say?
Hold on, dude. Let me just tell you something,
Oh.
brother.
Hold on there, dude.
The
Fuck you just
fucking
say to me, bro."
Black Lodge and the White Lodge.
Well, let's think about this from Hawk's perspective for a moment, because like this FBI agent just rolls into town. Your boss introduces you to him. You're like, okay, seems like an okay guy, and then he starts doing this Tibetan method of investigating, throwing rocks at bottles
Tibetan,
and
dude?
shit. And you keep watching him, and you're like letting him in on these secrets of like, hey, there's kooky stuff going on out in the forest. And you keep watching him, and from your perspective, you're like, it seems like maybe he's like, tuned into some kind of frequency that maybe others aren't. So you are like trying to help him along on his journey, or giving him your 2 cents from your culture or your upbringing. And then it gets to this point, and he just drops these really specific words, and you're like, hold on, wait, what? Let me just let's talk about this.
Yep, hold on, dude. Hold it right there, brother.
Dude. It's not the chocolate bunnies, dude. It's not about the bunnies, brother.
That was a standout scene, I would say, of this episode. Other than the interactions with Denise, those are pretty standout too. Yeah, kind of a interesting episode. I would say it's a little bit better than the last one that we watched. Dispute between brothers.
Well, I don't know about that, dude.
Just because the Wyndham Earl stuff comes back into play. Talking about White, Black Lodge, things like that. The Giant was brought up a little bit. Yeah, when he was talking to Truman in his office.
Yeah, the Giant said that a path is made by laying one stone at a time, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I do like that this show kind of scowling James there. A temper tantrum on his motorcycle. I'm angry traveling. Well, I like that the show, it's a very smooth handoff to go from a bunch of Bob drama to like Wyndham Earl drama.
Yeah, Wyndham Earl is becoming more and more the antithesis, or maybe like the the Sherlock Holmes and his arch nemesis,
Moriarty. Well, he's
Kinda.
certainly the antagonist of the show, like as at this point.
Yeah, I'm just trying to maybe make an analogy there, that maybe he's like, because Dale's obviously a detective, and Moriarty, is kind of throwing wrenches and things, or just being there to be like, I'm going to play games with you. This is going to be a morality, or, I have to test your skill set and everything, and I'm smarter than you, haha. And that is, them playing chess, and my opening move is this, and then I will come at you with my horses, or my knights, and my bishops.
I will come at you with my horses and my nays and my clippy clops. It is interesting that Wyndham Earl was also a FBI agent, and we don't know that much about him, but we can assume that he has a similar. Because didn't Dale said that like Wyndham Earl helped? He didn't say like he taught him everything he knows, but he said something to that effect, as of like
He was his partner, wasn't he?
Well,
He was
they
a
were
partner.
partners, and I believe he also said something about like he learned a lot from him, or he
Yeah.
helped inform his process. So you're led to believe that Wyndham Earl probably has like a similar skill set to Dale, like being very, very capable, very analytical, and obviously like kooky and out there, but very able person.
Yeah.
How did Dale say it? to gosh, I'm sorry, to Denise, he was like, okay.
Okay. I'll be getting a place at the Great Northern. And he's like, okay.
Okay. So much to process. Just that one piece of information. He was just like, all right.
Yeah, he's processing it. I mean, he was really supportive of him, her. I don't know what Denise is going by as far as
I don't know.
preferred, but very interesting for him to be like very accepting of Dennis because obviously Dale knows no nonsense, like just by the book.
Yep.
He appreciates that in people, like just people that stick to the justice of everything and looks for the good in every situation. That's our Coop.
So this was. When do you think this was shot?
When do I think it was shot?
Like 89,
Or when
90,
it was
91?
when it aired or when it shot? I don't know.
Shot.
Shot.
Like, just maybe let's say 89? Because then it probably aired 90, 91, 92, something like that.
It probably was in the 90s, I think. It aired in the 90s. I don't know.
So let's just say it was shot in 1990. Like, it doesn't need to be exact, but let's just.
Is it like 92 or something?
I don't know. But
92,
this was probably, before Duchovny started doing X-Files.
Oh, yeah, it was definitely before X-Files.
This was 94?
Yeah. So not too long before that.
December
but certainly
15th, 1990. That's when it aired.
When it was aired?
It aired, yep.
Yeah, so.
It could have been being shot in the 89.
Yeah, somewhere like that. It really doesn't matter, but like I'm just saying it's before X-Files. And it's just interesting that he goes from even a smaller role as an FBI agent to another FBI agent who deals in the weird and supernatural and abnormal.
Yeah, that's very true. David Duchovny does a great job in those kind of roles. I really enjoy X-Files, and the Mulder-Scully relationship is probably one of my favorite TV relationships. Like, just because they're like, Scully is the more, is she more of the no-nonsense?
Yeah, she's the...
Duchovny wants to believe.
Skeptic.
Yeah, she's skeptic. She's the pragmatic, or, just...
she's the doctor.
By the book.
By the book. And in this, he's more of that Scully. Like, he's trying to play Scully in this show. Okay.
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 That's pretty much all I can think of to say about this. There's some really good little nuggets in here and good scenes with our characters. Interesting stuff to come from all these different conflicts that are going to pop up, especially with that next episode being called The Black Widow. Mm-hmm. That'll be a little fun ride. So yeah, anything else to add, boys, before we sign off?
Leave a comment. Talk to us about Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give us your peaks.
Peek on us.
Have a peek on
Peek
me.
all over us.
Show me your peaks.
Whoa.
I meant comments, Let me see those comments.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, again, thanks for watching our Twin Peaks episodes. We're gonna keep watching these. Getting excited to watch Fire Walk with Me soon.
Yeah,
because that's a banger. And yeah, stay tuned for the next episode. We'll be back then. Goodbye.
Goodbye.